Hey guys, George here with another ASL video. And the topic for today will be more opinions about Advanced Squad Leader and where you can find them. It appears with 204 views, the video that I made where I rated some of the core modules had a pretty good rating, I would say. Yeah, 204 views with 12 likes. That is pretty good for me. Now, keep in mind a couple of things. I've never rated anything ASL lower than a C. So there, in my opinion, there isn't a product that you shouldn't buy if you can afford to buy it and if it adheres to your taste. However, there were a lot of opinions expressed, and I think it's worthwhile going over them and then show you a couple of other resources where you can find more feedback about ASL and ASL products and perhaps ASL resources. Now, before I go any further, to all my fellow Greeks out there and those celebrating the 28th of October, that's a high Greek holiday, and it's the day that Greece formally said no to fascist Mussolini and the decree that he wanted to um, occupy Greece on his way to the Eastern Front or whatever crazy idea he had. Didn't turn out too well. Well, in Greek we say "pronia pola," so "pronia pola" to all the Greeks out there. So the video I'm talking about is rating a few advanced squad leader modules, and quite a few people have expressed a lot of good opinions. Here, Tactical Jackie 4023 says, a nice take on the ASL modules. It's hard to put a place as Beyond Valor required by all. For me, I am starting with ASL Starter Kit. I have most ASL core modules. That's interesting to note. But the cost of some is extortionate. Well, with respect to the cost being extortionate, um, you may be able to see that I have a interest in aviation and model aviation, flying models and whatnot. That too, you depending on the model, you can easily spend up to $20,000 on some jets or more. Hobbies are expensive, no matter what you do. You can try to manage the costs somewhat, but I guess you got to be budget savvy and aware of your budget. I want to work with historical modules and as a newbie, more solo play, so trying to see what solo modules exist. Nice stream. And as you say, everyone has their own objective view on modules. Correct. And starting with ASL Starter Kit, it's a phenomenal game in itself. I don't think that Starter Kit is a stepping stone towards Squad Leader, Advanced Squad Leader. I think it's in a game in itself. It's a beautiful game. It concentrates more on tactics than rule density. And if you don't like rule density, Starter Kit is the way to go. There are plenty of scenarios for Starter Kit as well as the advanced game. However, if you are comfortable with adopting more rules in your role play, and I think an asset would be a mentor or a fellow player that's more experienced than you to teach you the ropes. But there's no real substitute for reading the rule book. ASL spotting round, and I found out he doesn't really live in Vancouver. He is over in Redview, 2 or 3 hours west of me. I'd rank, and I'm in Montreal, by the way. I'd rank Rising Sun a little bit higher only because it's mandatory for PTO. If you don't like playing PTO, then BC is probably good. Oh, okay. BC rating. Uh, a little biased with Doom Battalions, of course. I find that comment a little bit funny as well. I rank Rising. You know what? There's nothing wrong with PTO. PTO is pretty good if you do like it, and it's indispensable if you want to model Guadalcanal and all the other uh, interesting battles out there. Um, I just wish that amphibious assaults were covered earlier. But anywho, that's just my take on it. Now, speaking of my take, over on Facebook, some interesting comments as well. So this is the post that I made advertising the video, and I don't know about Facebook advertising on promoting on Facebook. I'm not sure. Mark Pitcavage, group expert in board games, all-star contributor. I really think people should keep their opinions about ASL products to themselves. Mark Lewis replies to that. What about people keeping their opinions of people keeping their opinions about ASL products? Okay. I knew a guy that knew a guy that I knew a guy that said the same thing. I agree. Mark Picavage found another ASL gatekeeper, guys. My intention was never to be a gatekeeper. I am not a gatekeeper. Everybody does their strums to their own tune when it comes to the hobby. But honestly, I like how the hobby pulls together. You know, for the roundtable, which I missed again. Um, with the roundtable, for one reason or another, I heard that Neil Euland couldn't do it, and I know that Stu over at Vaseline with Stu has the resources, has the bandwidth, and the capacity to record it, the episode, and then you know what Stu said? He says, "I'm going to record it and pass the file over to Neil to keep everything as is." That's really nice of him, and I told him, Stu, despite any differences we may have here and there, you know, hey, you're a swell, upright guy, straightforward, shoot from the hip. That's really nice of him, and that's the beauty about the ASL community. It really um, sticks together, helps everybody promote the hobby. I think the one thing that is very challenging about the wargaming hobby in general is getting new blood and the youth coming into the hobby. And more as time goes by, people kind of think that the Second World War is highly irrelevant. Ah, well, it is tragic that we learn by our mistakes, and all wars are a tragic mistake, in my opinion. And historians have documented a lot of goof ups and mistakes with respect to um, events that happened in the Second World War that are still true today. For example, appeasing a dictator. The more you appease a dictator, the more room you give them to maneuver, the more hell bent they are on uh, extorting and inflicting violence on civilization. So, the Neville Chamberlain effect. So it could not be more true today than it was back in so many years ago, so many decades ago, or the last century. But people tend to forget that. I think history plays an important role in our education, and if it's taught well, it really builds good societies. But anyway, that's just my take on it. Those are the top three, too. I never thought I would get Croix de Guerre, but with the Dinah hassle included with all the German SMC, I'm happy I did. The counter sheet of German SS MMC in Twilight of the Reich is another must have. Okay. As a newbie, I like reviews like this. I understand it is his opinion, but it helps to understand how the various products are viewed. Now, with that comment said, what I'm going to do is, and link to these sites below, is link resources where you can get more opinions. Now, everyone should. That's George, and I'm a top contributor on Advanced Squad Leader. I don't know how I managed to get that title, but can I click on it? Oh, let's see. What does it say? See your points. This must be social credit points. I'll do that later. What? I got this badge is awarded to members who have earned 1,500 points. Points are based on comments and reactions received, and your role in the group. Oh, thank you so much. That's the whole point behind social media, is I guess get points, which can't be cashed in, by the way. But anywho, or at least I don't think so. Anyway, George Chiotis, author and top contributor. Everybody should have a right to express their opinion on any subject they like to discuss. This is a fundamental right that veterans of World War II fought preserve. Got the two TO by T and O brain cells were missing against the likes of fascists, Nazis, and communists. Overall, I think I expressed my thoughts very well without discouraging anyone from avoiding purchasing any module they want to buy. So all that viewed and liked the video so far, thank you for your time and support. More goods to come. Well, more goods to come. I'll tell you where you can find more opinions about ASL. Here, Desperation Morale. And Desperation Morale is, I believe, a site run by who no other than Mark McTavish. Now, here's the product name, the publisher. We got ASL Pocketbook Chapter H Rulebook, Multiman Publishing. Read the commentary. Let's read the commentary. And there's a lot of good things in this thing. So here's the alternative titles: Edition of History, Commentary. At the same time, MMP released a revised and expansion version of this ASL Pocket ASL rulebook in January 22. They also, for the first time, released a companion volume, the long-awaited pocket version of the Chapter H rules. Yes, and go on to having more opinions. The bottom line is the product is well worth it. There you go. Now, this site as a resource is indispensable. So if you go to the home page, which is, and I'm going to put the link in the product in the video description below. Desperation Morale, we have World of ASL, Play Aids, Scenarios, ASL Museum, Miscellaneous, and Blog. And then if you go down, you see travel kits, prizes and trophies, miniatures, map boards, clothing, play aids, counter storage, dice towers. Oh wow, hassle aids, terrain related sheets, mini IFT and setup sheets. Let's take a look at a few of these goodies here. Let's look at travel kits because I am planning to go to Ottawa. If Ottawa is the designation for um, the tournament here in Canada. So Exhibit 1, take a look at that. Take a load of that. Look at Exhibition 2. So far, I managed to fit everything in a vat like that, really, for the few things that I have. This is remarkable. Look at that. And this is the last time I saw, I think, David Garvin. He had something to this effect. And look at that. That's baggies. Imagine they catch you at the airport with that thing. Wow. Anywho, travel kits, miniatures. And there's a lot of interesting photos there, and some of them I've seen on Facebook. This is great. This is phenomenal. Check that out, man. Wow. This is a 3D board. Wow. Or 3D boards. You know, Squalio was supposed to be a system for miniatures, but then went from miniatures to cardboard, clothing. Interesting stuff. Wow. I like this one here. All good stuff. And let's go take a look at some fire aids. Or wow, this is never ending. Let's go down a little bit further. Let's go see some player aids. Player aids, player aids. I have my own set of player aids. Some of them from Texas ASL site. Some of them, I guess, from here. It's a thick rule book, full liner typed. What is the most frequently forgotten in ASL? Many players can never remember their sniper activation number. And I think I made a video about that as well. And somebody commented to the fact of, oh, the sniper doesn't pop up often enough. Well, in my games, they do. Okay, so Desperation Morale. Let's go to the home page because we need the link in the description. And everybody knows Neil Yulin's site. And speaking of opinions, he has a number of polls. Um, so a number of polls were to ask a question to get an opinion. But besides the opinion aspect of this site, there's a lot of good, interesting resources. Um, Banner decode. I like the way that Neil color codes everything. Uh, he has his videos are much more well organized than mine, uh, and he has a lot of technical resources as well. Some of which I've used. Um, Convert a Hexdra map to a Vessel map. I've done that with a little bit of difficulty. I think Neil might have they call those Apple computers Macs. I could be wrong. And I'm MS based and Dell based. I'm not too happy with my computer setup, but uh, so ASL Wiki poll. So opinions galore, and I'm going to link. I'll give you the link to this site as well. But I think it should be bookmarked, and a lot of people are already familiar with this. Um, the site, and it offers tutorials, notes creator, scenario creator, a lot of stuff. I've already downloaded a couple of, or quite a few of these player aids. So guys, this is just one video, October 28th special, 2 for 1, like most Greek restaurants up here have, 2 for 1 special. I hope to create another video shortly, so you can have a swell week ahead. Take care. See you soon.